Alright, so I wanted to talk to you about my personal experience at Gary Job Corps. What to expect when you get to Gary Job Corps. Alright, so if you're out of state, Gary Job Corps is basically in San Marcos, Texas. And if you're in the state, Gary Job Corps is in basically San Marcos, Texas. Now, when you get there, what to expect. You are going to want to not have any chain wallets, anything, or can openers. So if you're taking canned foods, make sure it has a little cap on it where you could take it off and open it, kind of like a soda. What to expect. So at your first week of Gary Job Corps, or any Job Corps, I would assume, if you get there, the first week is called CPP, and that's just your indoctrination into Gary Job Corps, and I might have said indoctrination pretty much wrong. And I'm kind of new at this, so please forgive me. I might do a second take or another video in the future. If you're going to Gary Job Corps, you're going there pretty much for a hard trade, and that's a beginning hard trade. When I went to Gary Job Corps, I went in September all the way to I want to say February, early February. I was let go, and I will go into topic onto another video where it might lead into it. I'm ADHD, so I'm kind of all over the place. If you're gonna go to Gary Job Corps, make sure you go drug free. Like, when I mean drug free, obviously don't bring any drugs. Second, make sure your system's clean, because if your system is not clean, you have to take a drug rehab course, which is not really rehab. It just means that they're gonna make you go to the gym, basically work all that shit out. And the bad thing is, because of that, after CPP, and that's CPP is basically you're in it's a program that helps you get at least some form of job experience, and that job experience is work-based. And work-based, you're doing that for about a week, and that's for free. And work-based, that is another topic I will get into. What work-based is they either have you as maintenance, which are basically cutting grass. I'm Mexican, so you know, and I'm used to the heat, so there's that. There's, what is it, janitorial, which is basically if you get stuck in the fucking cafeteria, you're stuck there and you're gonna hate it. The pros to it, which it's summer, so if you're going in the summertime, you're Gucci. You're gonna be cooled off. You get to eat whenever you want. I was on maintenance, so I got stuck with that. I pretty much didn't mind it either. I found $100, or not $100, but I found 15 bucks in a pool stick, which I'll get into that later. I'm kind of all over the place, so forgive me. So your CPP week, your first, it's really 4 weeks, but it's 3. You get there on a Monday, you stay there. Once you get there, you're gonna sign a paper. If you're getting off the Greyhound, if you're fortunate enough to live in Texas and have good parents or have a reliable form of transportation to get there, kudos. I would highly recommend taking a personal form of transportation. Why? Is because the Greyhound bus and the infrastructure in Texas is just bullshit. And I'm from Killeen, and the ride there, at least if my mom was taking me, would have been 2 hours. It took me 9 hours to get there. So at least once you get there, you would have an hour or more basically to just use your phone, catch up on some Z's, whatever you want to do. And another factor is the second week of CPP is basically just learning. It could be, oh yeah, before I get on to the learning part of it, your first week of CPP, there's a thing called tape testing. I highly recommend you personally, whether you're a guy or a gal, is to take that test serious. It's basically an aptitude test, which it selects if you suck at math or if you're good at reading. Me, I thought it was just bullshit, and I took it serious. I didn't take it serious. I took it lightly, and I did not do it. and that put me basically another 4 weeks into CPP, which is not really CPP. That's really academics, really. That's after if you failed it. So if you're going to Job Corps, and that's any Job Corps in the United States, make sure you have your high school equivalent or your high school diploma. You don't have to take it, but make sure you pass it, because if you go to Gary Job Corps or any Job Corps for any trade that you wish to do, that trade is not going to be full time, and there's shifts. It's like a job. There are shifts to it. So I didn't take the tape test seriously in my first week of CPP. So after my second week of CPP, which was academics to some sort of degree, basically within that time period is after your first week on a Friday or whatever, and you go on a Saturday or on that Friday, and that gives you the week to explore the Job Corps campus. And if I am not being focused, I am terribly sorry. So really what to expect from your second week is, if you have, your second week is technically 3 weeks. So your academics is going to be, pretty much bullshit, arts and crafts, learning how to use the computer to set up your system, the system, I forgot what it was called, but it helps measure your percentage rate in your trade. So I was a welder, I was a stick welder, I'm certified, and that I'm gonna go over in another story, because I really didn't finish Gary Job Corps. To be truthful, I was terminated, but I have my certification card, and it's really worth jack bullshit. If you're going now, it is under new management, and that I might have to do another video on with some of my buddies that are still currently there at Gary Job Corps, and they're about to graduate this week or sometime this month. I hopefully might get to do a video with them. On the other hand, yeah, it's pretty much, you're gonna have a teacher. My teacher was Mr. Gamboa. We called him Mr. Gayboa, but for obvious reasons, don't do it, because he's gonna put you in. He's gonna recommend you for a shitty work base, and that is high-end cafeteria work. But since it's summertime, you're Gucci and you're pretty much good. On the other hand, your second week, which is technically your third week, but your third week you're gonna have another teacher after that, a transitional period, and he's the one on a Wednesday, if not on Thursdays. He allows you in the morning to go to your trade, examine, just basically see what you're doing. Around that time period, it gives you the opportunity to, okay, you hate welding, you might want to do warehousing or plastering, which plastering is an entry level to cement, and cement is an advanced trade. So an advanced trade, thankfully that advanced trade is at Gary Job Corps, along with overhead. If you're taking electrical, God praise, God be with you. That I've seen the bookwork for electrical, at least for that trade, and it boggles my mind on how anybody could fucking do that. If you're in a hard trade, you're gonna be put in dorms. In these dorms, and that's after your first week. Alright? And I'm sorry if I'm all over the places. I might do another video. I might take this video down after I publish it. But I was stuck in Africa, which is all the way in the back of Gary Job Corps. So thankfully I was a welder, so it was close to the welding facility relatively. If you're a warehouse or HVAC or machinist, it's right there if you're in Africa. Now, at the time before I was terminated, which I'll get into another story about that, there was only one dorm, and that was Africa. And then you could ask multiple students on why there's one dorm, but there is only one dorm. And at the time of my departure, they were using the dorms because they were using that second dorm and that second dorm was for the other dorms. I'm sorry if I'm all over the place, but it was for dorms that they were redoing, so those students would have to come over. We never got the females, so that sucked for us Africa dudes. There's Zoo House, there's D Block. I'm not gonna get anything names or shame any dorms, but you know who you are if you stayed at those dorms. Zoo House is infamous for the drugs. I'm not gonna recommend anybody any names or who to look for. I only smoked weed on campus probably once or twice. D Block, they're next to Calm Life. Never take Calm Life serious. If you're a Calm Life person and you're watching this video, do something with your life. Like I said, by the time of my departure, Job Corps was going through a transition of new management. And what I mean by new management is that it was ran by MTC, which is a big contractor for the prisons in the United States. And now they're under someone else. From what my buddy says, he's, I'm not going to say his name, but JB, that's his nickname. I'll just say that. JB, he said it's shit now, there's more rules. And I was like, okay, whatever. But the head director at the time, before I left, his name was Mr. Shit, I honestly forgot. But he was a preacher dude, you know. And management sucked. So, if you've gotten this far into the video, let me tell you a few things. You're going to be getting paid $23 to $24. And that is bi-weekly. And if you're there for more than 6 months, it will go up to 50. Should go up to 50. Actually, no, it's 30. It was 50 when my older brother attended. And you do get trolley. That I believe is every 2 weeks or probably every week. I assume it's every week. If you're going on trolley, do not steal. All right. I'm not gonna say I stole. Not at least when I wasn't on campus. But it was little shit. Toilet paper, whatever. Yeah, I shouldn't probably have said that. But do not steal. Alright? If you're on food stamps, I assume you can apply for food stamps while you're at Gary Job Corps. That is beneficial. But other than that, if you need food, by all means do it, because there are going to be days where you will not want to walk to the cafeteria. If you're in Africa, it's relatively close if you cut through D Block and all that. If you're in New Oasis, which we call the New Gasis, and I'm sorry if anybody in the LGBT community is offended by that. If you're going to Gary Job Corps and you are gay, bi, or non-binary, which I only believe there's two genders, and that's my opinion, and I'm sticking with it. But if you're part of that community, you will understand why it's called New Gasis. And it is really a haven, really. We call these dorms the hotels. There's Blue Bonnet, well, not really Blue Bonnet. There's New Oasis, there's Brazos, and then there's another one. But those Brazos and the one next to it is pretty close. They're quite conjoint. And then we have the scrub community. So if you're going for RA, NA, excuse me, RA, NA, or what is it? Pharmacist tech, which I'm not sure they have that anymore. Your scrub. And what we hard trades, at least myself for instance, I called anybody that was in a scrub the scrubs. So you're in Brazos, I believe, Blue Bonnet, and some other dorms. I really haven't remembered them properly. The food, it is, at least by the time I was there, I mean, at least while the time I was there, it was subpar. If you're going to Gary Job Corps and you wanting to lose weight, it is godsend. At least if you are going to campus, Africa is pretty far. It's at least about a mile walk from the gym. And at least a month or two in, maybe 3, I was running to and from the gym. Quit eating at least multiple foods. I was only eating salads, and that was about it. At least by the time before I departed. Okay, sorry I'm everywhere. I'm just testing the waters. I might delete this video and redo it after a month of it being on YouTube. So Calm Life, yeah, they're just campus police. Don't really take them serious, but don't piss them off. I could tell you one story. Calm Life, they're a joke, but there are a few that are pretty cool and you should respect them. I forgot their names, but there was a rumor going around on campus that there's a Calm Life driver that was giving females a ride if they gave them, a BJ. So alright, so if there was a little jump scare right there, I had to go do something. My girlfriend needed help with my son. Alright, so yeah, I might take this video off YouTube within a month's time, depending on if any formal Gary Job Corps students looked at it, or if people are wanting more of it. So yeah, so welding, I was a welding student. I managed to almost pass my 1G, but before I was terminated, it is what it is. So tape, going back to tape, take that shit serious, because if you don't, you're gonna be in tape classes for about the longest or duration of your time. Now, if you're going there for a high school diploma, you're better off going to a charter school, but it is what it is. I graduated high school, so I didn't have to worry about that, because if you're doing high school, they might put you in full-time academics, and at that point it's just a waste of why even go there. You might as well just go to either a high school or a charter school, or just get your GED. But yeah, that's pretty much a factor right there. What else can I say? Yeah, curfews on Saturdays, it's at 10, or at least on the weekends. After your week of CPP, you'll be able to go off campus. It is what it is. Once you get there, you get 3 PTOs, which is personal time off. You could use that to whatever. Now, if you are of the age to drink or smoke, or if you have a Gary hoe, that's what we Gary students call them. I'm not gonna say we guys or we females or anything. Gary students in general, we call them Gary hoes. I call myself a Gary bro, but that's pretty douchey. I'm kind of a douchebag. Forgive me on that. But if I'm being truthful, if you have a Gary girl and she's not putting out because she doesn't want to do it on campus or do it in the grass or the bush fields, you as a man or female, and this comes part of adulting, because that $23, sorry, wrong amount, but those $23 or $24, if you really want that sex that bad, you either 1, sell snacks and make bank, or 2, save up that money, and you and your significant Gary person will be able to get a hotel. I highly recommend, fuck, I forgot what it's called. It's called something Inn, but it's off next by the Super 8 in San Marcos, and they only do $50 a night. And for $50 a night, you can get, this is by all means not a sponsorship, just personal experience as a Gary student. By all means, that experience is, that price for that hotel, if you get 2 bedrooms, 2 beds in 1 room, is $50 a night. So that's not bad. I'm probably going to do another follow-up video to this, because this, at least on my phone, I only get 25 minutes. So I'm going to call this a wrap, and I'm going to make a part 2 to it, alright? And that's going to be uploaded after this one is. Bye.